Hello, my name is Lynn Kirkham. I am the founder of Yes, You Can Speak, and I am joined today by a graduate of our program, Rosanna Cerna, who is the Senior Director of People at Alom Technologies in Silicon Valley. And we're talking about interviewing and what she looks for in candidates, because we're in the midst of the Great Resignation, and there are a lot of people looking for work right now. So Rosanna, thank you for joining me. Would you just chat for a minute about what your day-to-day looks like?
Yeah, so my day-to-day is part of my role, and what I'm tasked with is talent acquisition and talent management. So I look at about 1,000 resumes a month. And I also talk to about 80 to 100 people. And so the search is on for the best talent, passionate people who are subject matter experts at what they do as well.
Great. So you're really qualified to have this conversation.
I hope so.
You are. So I'm curious, when you're interviewing over Zoom, and what are you looking for right off the bat? Because it's about making a good first impression. What are you looking for?
So I'm looking for the passion. Do they have a passion? Are they communicating? Are they excited about what they do? And most of all, are they confident? So those are the really things that I look for.
Right. And that makes sense. And how do you know if somebody is confident? What are the subtleties that you're looking for?
Yeah, body language. Are they communicating clearly? Are they passionate? The voice is everything. And most of all, are they connecting? Are they connecting with the questions? Are they connecting with the answers? Are they connecting with me?
Right. And when they're not connecting, can you show us what that might look like?
Yeah, one of the questions I always ask people is, tell me about a project that you're most proud of. And they'll look around, and they're thinking, and they just, oh, well, there was this one project, instead of really connecting with the camera and go, there was this one project that was so successful, and this is what I did, right? So it's really important that the connection that you have with the interviewer.
And when somebody is not connecting with the camera and they're not looking up, where do you usually see them?
Well, they usually do not go ahead. They don't move ahead in the process.
And where are they looking? Where are they looking when they're not connected?
Yeah, they're either looking at the screen as I'm looking at you right now, Lynn, or if they're in their head, they're looking up, or they're looking all around the room and not at the camera.
Which to you means that they're disconnected from you.
Yes, that they're disconnected from the conversation as well. Yeah.
Right. And so are you looking for what their personality is like, or are you just looking for them to answer the questions?
I'm looking for, that's a great question. I'm looking for both, believe it or not. The personality, can they come across as that the confidence that we need, that they can do the job, right? And then in the communication, are they communicating clearly so that I understand what they're saying and it makes sense? So all those things together.
Yeah. And then what about friendliness? What about approachability? What about, like, can you tell if they are caring and if they would be a good fit? How does that process work for you?
It's all in what they, can give me in that moment, how are they connecting? Are they connecting with passion? Are they connecting with excitement? Or are they just like way down here with their hands crossed? Body language is also everything. The tone in your voice is everything. So it's important. You can be an introvert and you could still connect with people.
Absolutely. In fact, introverts, they're great listeners typically, and they really care. And so what's sad is when you've got somebody who really cares about doing the best job, they care about people, and they're looking down or they're looking at another screen, so you can't even connect with them. And so you don't get, I would imagine that you're not getting a sense of who they really are when you can't see their eyes. Is that true?
That is true. That is very true. And one of the, you bring up another point, is that they don't even have to be subject matter experts. As long as they are confident, they are coachable, they are trainable, and they bring in a work ethic, right? And they're able to express the work ethic and the culture add to the company, we will invest in people, knowing that they're there for the longevity and to grow and to develop.
I love that. I love that. So, because there's so many people who feel like they need to check all the boxes at 100% before they even apply for a role. But what you're saying is that's not the case.
No.
And if you feel like they could be added value to your company, that you will invest. And by, value add, it's, I would think it might be about who they're being and what their personality is like. And are they fun to be with? Are they coachable? Are they kind? Can you feel that they want to connect, that they want to help, that they want to learn, that, like no mountains too high?
Exactly. And that's really important, because a lot of people that I have met will say, oh, I just want to do my job. They actually tell me, I just want to do my job, and that's it. And it's not about just doing a job. It's more than that. What do you bring to that role? It's not only the expertise you may have, it's what else can you bring to that role?
Exactly. Exactly. And when you work for a company, it's like being married. So you're creating relationships, new relationships. And if you're not able to create relationships, then it's going to be really hard. It's going to be hard for you to do your job well, is what I would imagine.
Yeah, because people, nowadays work cross-functionally, right? You're not siloed, especially at our company, at the company I'm with right now. It's not a silo. It's you work cross-functionally. And so if you're having challenges communicating with me, what challenges are you going to have communicating cross-functionally with other departments, right? So that collaboration also needs to be there, and you showing that you can communicate, you can cross-collaborate with not only within your team, but outside your team.
So this is really important. So let's just imagine you got a resume and, the top schools were on the resume. And yes, this person is a subject matter expert, but then you get into the interview and he or she is looking around, looking down, disconnected, maybe guarded. I think that might happen sometimes, because a lot of people that I talk with, they say that they get so nervous during an interview. And what typically happens for people when they get nervous is their guard goes up, their heart closes, and they're completely in their head wanting to answer the questions right. But in so doing, it's really difficult for them to connect with you or another interviewer. Is that true?
Yes. And it's when you're not being authentic, when you are not connected, when you are not present, and you are in your head, you sometimes might not hear the exact words that are being asked of you.
And so you're not answering the question in the right way.
Yeah. And it could go the reverse too, where we've had in my career people who were the subject matter experts, who had the amazing resume, and they came across really desperate for the job. That's not what we need, right? We don't want you to come across desperate. We want you to come across confident and passionate, not, I really need a job. So it's really important how a person really, is who they're being, who, they are connecting, and how they're connecting through the camera.
Right. And then I would think feeling like they want to connect with you as a human.
Yes, as a human. Exactly. And the connection is really important, because if you could connect with me, you could connect with anyone in the company. You could connect with, the hiring managers, which is really, really important.
Super important. Yeah. And I know for me, when somebody comes and says, I want to work for you, if I like them and they do not have the skill set, if I just feel their heart and like their personality, I like their energy, I like their exuberance, I like their presence, I like where they're coming from, I will train them. I will train them, because the person is much more important to me than a skill set, because we have to connect. We have to like each other in order to do our best work. And it's the same in an organization. You've got to be able to connect and like, work with. I mean, you may not like everybody, but if your guard is down and your heart is open, you're just open to people, meeting people as they are, and having the best of intentions that everyone's going to get along, then chances are they will like you and you will like them. It's when we're guarded and our heart is closed and we're protected and we're afraid that, wow, what are they going to think of me when I come into this company? That's when the trouble starts, I think, because they can't feel you when your guard is up. Is that true?
Yes. And you can't, as a person, how authentic are you when your guard is up? Right? Who are you when your guard is up? You're not letting who you are pass that guard.
Exactly.
So it's really important. Yeah, we all get nervous. Yes. But as long as you're being authentic about yourself and who you are, and you're connecting with that on the camera, that's so important. So important. So many managers have always said to me, I'd rather take someone who is coachable, who I know I could train, and I know they are a fit for my team, they are an add to my team, I will invest in them, than someone who has everything and and is not likable. Right? The bottom line is they're not likable.
Right. And we judge that very quickly. In a split second, sometimes. A split second, we judge whether we like someone or not. So when you're interviewing, I would think that if somebody's smiling when they're talking about a project that they did, be excited about it and smile and look into the camera and express with your eyes and have your heart open, even though it's scary, even though your heart is pounding, have it open anyway, and just lean in. There's something about, leaning back versus leaning in.
I recently told my team, You know, it's so important when we're on camera that we're leaning in, that we are showing that we are leaning in, and we are showing that we're interested in you. We're interested in the topic. We're connecting. If we're back here with our, it's, you're putting your guard up, so it's really important the way your posture is, the way you come across on camera, especially now that everything is done on camera. It's so important that you connect with the camera.
Yeah. And it's really about your presence.
Mm-hmm.
It's, what is your presence like? Is it bright, or is it kind of reclusive, right? Do you feel safe being seen, or do you not feel safe? Are you thinking that you're not good enough, not good enough, not good enough? Or are you like, I am, and I can learn anything. I may not have all the answers, and that's okay, but I can learn it. So that's the attitude that I think you would get excited about.
Yes, and attitude is everything. I think that's the perfect word, attitude. You have that attitude. Yeah, I can do this. I'm confident. I'm passionate about the company. I'm passionate about the work. I can do it. You're going to move on. You're going to succeed wherever you go.
It is that simple. And that difficult, because we are conditioned to think that, wow, it's our resume, and we have to have all these degrees or certifications or accomplishments in order to be good enough. But it really is about attitude. One last question, and that is, what percentage of men ask for a higher compensation versus women?
Yeah, so for men, 65% of the men ask for higher compensation. For women, only 45% of the women ask. There's a gap there.